My name's Charlie. I'm the founder and creative director of Kantion Media, and I'm pitching for the Venture Ready Awards 2026. Kantion Media is a Bristol-based media production company that covers both videography, filmmaking, and photography, and is a venture that I started after graduating university last year with a degree in filmmaking. As a student, I enjoyed working on an incredibly varied range of wildly creative productions, surrounded by a group of equally environmentally and socially conscious people as myself. And these are the reasons that I started my venture rather than joining a different production company under somebody else's ethos, because the principles of creativity and sustainability were so important to me that I wanted to carry on those forwards, working under my own principles and my own ethos. As such, creativity and sustainability are two principles that underpin every single production that Kantion Media takes on. Now, this means that when I operate, I'm trying to create the most visually interesting, spectacular content that I can for my client, whilst operating to the Albert sustainability standards and making sure that the content I put out into the world is doing good for it. I am keenly aware of the impact that social media and media production in general can have on the world around us. This is why I believe it's important that as a creative, you are putting out good into the world, because it will inevitably shape the narratives and the thinking of the people who see it. There are three main creative lanes that Kantion Media divulges into: filmmaking, social media, and activism. As a filmmaker, I've created several commercials, including a commercial for Eleanor Hospice, which is a hospice charity in Kent. As far as social media goes, I've worked with dozens of independent businesses and brands across Bristol and London, including pubs, bars, hotels, restaurants, and creatives, as well as working within the music industry and with the Green Party, creating publicity for Zach Polanski and the Greens. I use my platform in order to uphold the stories that I find important, shedding light and bringing news to the movements and the political activisms of our time. In terms of solid progress, I've gone from making a sporadic couple £100 a month here and there as a university student and as a freelancer to making a solid £1,500 a month from this venture by building up a repertoire of retainer clients as well as reaching out to new clients. I've developed an increasingly clear-cut workflow, as well as building up several media production packages to offer new and retainer clients, as well as reinvesting a significant amount of money into my equipment to make sure that the media that I am producing is up to the highest industry standards possible. My market appeals to independents and small brands who value the sustainability elements of my business, as well as slightly larger clients, startup businesses, and charities who appreciate the creativity and independence that I can bring to these productions. But what I offer that a lot of these larger companies don't is the intimacy and reliability that working with one single person offers. Brands and independents can trust that I will see their vision through to the fullest of my potential, and I will be doing so with the highest social and environmental standards possible, because those are the standards that I hold myself to. As an independent and as a solo freelancer, I am incredibly accountable for the actions and the media that I put out into the world. But that's what sets me apart from these other competitors, and that's why the brands that I work with and the retainers I have choose me, and they come back to me rather than working with these bigger brands. The budgets are smaller, and that means that smaller clients can afford to work with industry standards media production. My partnerships include several retainer clients, including Jacobs, which is a barber shop and a clothing shop, or River Station, which is a restaurant in Bristol, both of which I've held for around 4 or 5 months at this point, as well as having partnerships with other marketing agencies and creative agencies in Bristol who come back to me for my reliability and quality of content that I deliver them. The £5,000 from the Venture Ready Awards would allow me to invest in an entirely new camera rig setup. I do this based around the Sony FX3, which is an industry standard camera, which means I'll be able to do multi-cam setups, which will be perfect for interviews, podcasts, and other creative ventures along similar lines. Other elements of the investment would go towards marketing and putting my brand out in front of more potential clients. And by giving me a little bit of saving, it would offer me the financial leeway to work on more social programs, meaning I could work for independent and political or activist movements that otherwise would not be able to afford media production. So overall, in the last half a year, Kantion Media has grown to allow me to work independently as a freelancer in Bristol. Without the funding, in order to invest in the equipment I need, it would take me a significantly longer amount of time given the cost of living, and it would mean that I have much less time to focus on the social programs that I believe are important, because I would be focused naturally on making enough money to get by. Thank you very much for listening to my pitch. I hope you share my vision for Kantion Media, and I hope that you choose to invest so that I can continue to make media that is important and help shape the world around us. Thank you for your time.